Did you know that in Asia, many people learn languages without memorizing vocabulary lists or studying grammar rules traditionally? Their secret is the massive input method, a technique based on constant exposure to real language. In this video, I'll explain what the massive input method is, how it works, and why Asian learners use it to learn faster. What is the massive input method? It's a learning technique based on listening to and reading large amounts of content in the target language. Instead of focusing on speaking or writing first, it prioritizes natural comprehension. This is how babies learn their first language. They listen for months before they start speaking. Why is it so popular in Asia? In countries like China, Japan, and Korea, learning a second language is essential for better career opportunities. Since English is not their native language, they must find more effective ways to learn it without direct translation. Also, Chinese characters and kanji require massive exposure to be memorized naturally. Avoids mental translation. One common mistake in language learning is thinking in your native language first and then translating. With massive input, your brain starts processing the new language directly, without needing to translate. This is the most effective way to start thinking in another language. Exposes the brain to natural patterns. Instead of studying grammar rules in isolation, listening and reading allow you to absorb sentence structures intuitively. This is how native speakers learn, through constant repetition and exposure to full sentences. Your brain starts recognizing what sounds correct without needing to memorize complex grammar rules. More effective than traditional classes. In many school systems, language learning is based on grammar exercises, translation, and rote memorization. However, in Asia, many students supplement their studies with massive input by watching shows, listening to music, podcasts, and reading books. This helps them immerse themselves in the language in a more natural and effective way. Essential for learning Japanese and Chinese. In languages like Mandarin Chinese and Japanese, characters are difficult to memorize without context. With massive input, learners see words in real situations, which makes retention easier. Instead of memorizing isolated characters, they absorb them naturally from native materials. Builds an instinct for grammar without studying it. Many Asian students don't spend hours analyzing grammar rules. Instead, they listen to correct sentence structures over and over, allowing their brains to recognize patterns naturally. Over time, they develop an intuitive understanding of the language. Works for any language. Even though it's widely used in Asia, this method works for any language. The key is to immerse yourself in content you enjoy, like dramas, anime, K-pop lyrics, or even vlogs in your target language. The more you listen and read, the faster your brain adapts. The silent period is normal. Many learners go through a silent period where they understand a lot but struggle to speak. This is completely normal and happens in both children and adults. Speaking comes naturally once you have absorbed enough input. How to apply it to your learning. Start with comprehensible input. Choose content that is slightly above your level but still understandable. Focus on listening and reading daily, even if you don't understand everything at first. Avoid translating. Try to understand words from context. Be patient. The more input you get, the more your brain adapts.